All right, so let's say you're given this equation here, and they ask you to convert this equation into factored form. To start, what is factored form? Factored form can be represented by this equation here, where r1 and r2 are the x-intercepts of the graph. Note, the equation y equals x squared plus 11x plus 3 can be identified as a standard form, which standard form can be written as this here, where a, b, and c are coefficients. To convert from standard form to factored form, there are three methods. The first one is the quadratic formula, which we find r1 and r2 from the quadratic formula equation here. The second method can be used under the condition that a equals 1. The condition that a equals 1, we can find two numbers that add to equal b and multiply to equal c, and these two numbers are going to be r1 and r2, so we can directly plug it into the factored form equation. One important thing to note, when you're plugging it in, be careful of these negative signs in the factored form equation. When you plug in r1 and r2, these negative signs will affect the final answer. And then the third method, which is when a is not equal to 1, is the AC method, which when we're given our standard equation here, we can start by multiplying a by c, and then we find two numbers that multiply to equal ac and then add to equal b, and then we split bx into these two terms and factor. If we take our standard equation, let's say we identify the two numbers as s1 and s2, we can split the bx term like so. If we apply this to our example here, this is the standard form equation. We can identify the a coefficient as 6, so we're going to be using the AC method. The first thing is to compute a times c. If we look at our equation, c is going to be equal to 3, so we can do 6 times 3 equal to 18. And then the second step is to find two numbers that add to give b and multiply to give ac. So we found ac equal to 18. B, if we look at our standard equation, is going to be equal to 11. From here, we just guess numbers that multiply to equal 18 and add to equal b. You can find that 9 and 2 are the answers. It's 9 times 2 equals 18, and 9 plus 2 is equal to 11s. From here, step 3 is to split bx into these two terms and factor. This is our equation, and we just identified 9 and 2 as our two terms. Split 11x into 9x and 2x, and if we do that, we get this here. What we want to do from here is factor, so we want to make the two terms on the left-hand side look like the two terms on the right. We can start by factoring out an x by multiplying it by x over x, bringing the bottom x into the bracket. This will cancel out the x terms in the bracket, and we can multiply the whole thing by 3 over 3. This will essentially factor out a 3 by multiplying the bottom 3 into the bracket. We get the expression to this form here. Notice 2x plus 3 is a common factor, so we can take this out in the same way by multiplying the whole thing by 2x plus 3 over 2x plus 3, bringing the 2x plus 3 in the denominator into the bracket. Doing that, the 2x plus 3's inside the brackets cancel, and we end up getting this for the final answer. If you want to check if this answer is right, just distribute and simplify, and you should end up back at the standard form equation.